Hello, it's Cat Carter here with more cycles of oxygen not included, and today, well, we've got this dirt down, which is a good start. So we're going to try to get some oxyferns at the bottom of this. All right. So what our intention is we'll get some pips, we'll stick them down here, and we'll start the planting. So what I need to do is close that off, and we might need to... No. I think I want to do that. Now, how are we going to get access to this in a way that's going to semi-restrict those women bees from getting out? I don't know. Maybe we'll do... keep that one and get rid of that one. I think they can get through there like that. And we'll keep that and go there. Alright, if we maybe put that on a 7, that'll be our way across here. And we also need to get our pips sorted. To do that, we've got to pump out all of this because that's where our pips are going. Now, did I actually... So that's you. You're still building that. We're going to pump the water out to here. I just need to build some bridges instead of burning them. You need to be done, and you need to be done. Construction, please. So we're going to pump it up, convert that. We will need more power, I think, because this power is... yeah, it's 1080. And I want them both to pump at the same time. Can we do another one? I'll tell you what, we can do, actually, we can. Keep going. We can get you. And this is probably an extremely long way to travel. Oh, no. Where are you? How about we go down here? Where do we need to get you? Up there or down? I'm going to avoid the volcanoes. That is a long way to take. Long way to take power. That's a bit of construction in there, but it's okay. Not really bothered about... you can't plant anything, so we're going to stick you as a critter drop-off. So you're going to end... so what are we going to do? We're going to have... our base is going to go... not 2. How much is... where's our park sign? Where is our park? Oh, there we go. You too high? Alright, so park sign's too high. What we can do, I reckon, is... you'll be 3 there. We can probably just... do that. So 3, 3, 3. And you are going to go... are you done? Yes. Alright, they should be able to get through here now. You're going to go up there, and you're going to go up there. I'm going to go here just because reasons. Because I said. Alright, so you don't need to exist anymore. You don't really need to exist. So we'll go... we'll basically... so where's that? We'll do this bit. Do we want to keep this... How far is 3? So how far do you extend out? 10. That's 10. So it'll be from there. If we were doing it... yeah. So in theory, this would extend out there. I want to try to keep it roughly the same. Give or take. It's not going to be exactly the same because... no. You can be one up. You don't need to be down there. Oh, except it's not going to look the same. Actually, it's not going to look the same anyway because... yeah. No, we're going to leave it like that. We'll get rid of those two. We'll build those. We're going to get all the ferns planted down here. We're going to make it... we'll stick a park sign in there. Actually, yeah. You don't have to be there. Let's put a park sign in now. We're going to close... hold on. That room. We're going to close this room off like that. Except I might leave you for a second until I fix up that. So the reason I want to do that is if we're going to make it a park, we need to save as much room as possible. Because we're going to have a hard time as is. Alright, so they'll do that. We want all of that done. We'll get... put one in now. And we're going to need a storage bin. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick all the ferns in there. Then we're going to trap a Pip in here and get him to... so you got to go and you got to go. And you can go. Alright. So we'll trap a Pip in there. We'll get him to plant all 9 of the ferns. And then... now what's the heat here? The heat's probably too cold for him to operate to start with. But this will heat up to a usual 20... I took away all the things, didn't I? Except for you. 0 to... oh, it operates 0 to 40. So no, I lied. That actually won't be too bad. Alright, so they're going to do that. They'll build that. Alright, so this is our research rocket. So we've got a telescope. So we've got our control rocket up here. Oh, control station, I should say. I always forget that. We've got a little... we've just got a mess hall. That's basically the only room I can put on it. What I've done is... I got an insulated liquid pipe and a lavatory. And what's going to happen is the lavatory, the water's just going to be thrown out into space, the polluted water. And obviously we're feeding in clean water from a tank, or into a tank from the outside, so up here. So just because they're going to be out for a long time, and rather than dealing with dirt, I think it's just easier to deal with just to have a toilet in there and they can just ditch the water out when they're in space. The usual thing of the food in here. We've got a ladder to help reach stuff. You got the usual sense carbon dioxide and pump it out. So toilets, water. The bed is here in the middle. Why is that made out of lead? It's made out of lead. I've got the bed here. A little hanging thing to make it slightly better on decor. Automated wire with light. So he'll have a light while he's doing the telescope. And power. So it's... oh, who's dead? God, you got plenty of space. So that's a lot of construction, but we should have... you haven't got your power yet. Why haven't you... you're the... ah. Power... oxygen. No. So everything that's out unloaded. Yeah. The loader just loads in oxygen. And you are allowing oxygen in, and you're going to do... let's do 24. I just want a little space. Now you obviously are powering up. What we should do is probably connect 240. Be a lot of power. That's fine. I'm not really fussed about it. The power's in there so I can run the telescope, run the refrigerator at max, and run the light without running out of power. Radiation. Oh, I don't care about radiation. Alright, so that's getting oxygen in. Rad bolt engine. I'm not going to do... Probably start with doing rads. Oh, you need power. Basically. Except I don't want to... I don't want to actually connect you up yet. Alright, so this water... What I've done to stop the water sitting here and getting heated up by the rocket, it's only going to run when it detects that. So there's a rocket. That's a rocket one, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, your mouse on it. So it'll run when the rocket's on the platform. There you go, and then it'll go up. And all it's going to do is loop around. So when this doesn't detect water coming through the loop, it'll allow more water in, but otherwise the water will just loop. And if there's no rocket on the rocket pad, the water will stop looping. We need to... You're going to go down there. You... Need to go... That's quite snaky. But it is what it is. Trying to fit too much in two smaller spaces. You can go. So we're going to need to feed polluted... My preference is polluted water through these. And polluted water through the refining system as well. If you're above... do we need to put a not gate in? What we want to do is... if it's below 35 seeing green, yeah, that's fine. That water probably needs to be 25. So the water's going to go in there. Are you hooked up? Yeah, I think you're hooked up. Now all of this cooling should be hooked up. We're going to pump the polluted water through that. We won't do it yet because we've sort of hijacked some stuff. So we're going to have to sort that out later. If you've now got no power, why have you got power? Right, so you've got power. Let's put the other one on. Let's get the snippy tool and we'll go plumbing. This is water, but I don't know, we'll live. Shouldn't heat up. And what we want to do is say, if it's above... What do we want? 20? 20? 20 is a good temperature. If it's above 20, do it. Can you... Oh, it's on 9. Why aren't these people... That's on 5. Did I put that on 9? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Alright. So you're going there. Alright, so this will fill up. I might put ammo docks in at a later time. I just want to see how much this thing heats up. Just want to go there. Oh. What are they doing? Alright, you know what? Get rid of that. I don't know why you're... Why are you here? Do I need to stick an oxygen mask here? Maybe. They got soaking wet feet too. We need to take care of this large amount of everything. So what are they? What the? Oopsie. Oh, that's lucky. No, if it's above that, and if it's above... What I want is I want to stop these running for a second. That's going to massively heat up that. Have I got... No. Alright. Like I've done anything that I should have done. Well, that was... Oh, that would have been... Well, what happened there? That would have been very annoying. Alright. No, it's not. What am I doing? Can we please do that on a 9? We need to get... Oh, I wonder if we can do this. Idle erupts in... Yay, polluted water. Let's go do this. And we'll go like that. And we'll go... Liquid bridge. Everything on a 9, please. Oh, yeah, this. While that's building... And I'm distracted by other stuff. You should have been done as well. So, I got to redesign this. It's gone to pot. I don't think it doesn't seem to like having things back to back. So, if this is, say this is the final output. What we want to do, I'm still wondering if we've got to stop things. What I think we've got to do is maybe stop water coming into here once it gets a certain amount of full, and to have the actual germ sensor pipe like if we go liquid shut off. Yeah, that's right. Output. Then, all we're going to do is intake. We do. No, we need to get stuff going. This is on. Yeah, it's on 5. Alright. So how about this? So all we do is we go. I think we need to stop this going. Alright, so we just go, do you have germs? If the germ count is the right way, go. Otherwise, you are just going to go back in. And basically what's going to happen is... if you go like that... And what we might do is, here's that liquid bridge. View, deconstruct. We're going to put a liquid shut off here. And what's going to happen? Okay, now I managed to stuff up my audio recording, so I'm doing this post recording the video. So here, for that polluted water that we're going to stick the chlorine back in once we set it up. I've got the germ sensor on a bit that's not just before a curve. I don't know if that was a reason, but how I had it before, the sensor was on the sort of 90-degree turn, and it just wasn't sensing germs. I don't know if that was because it was on the turn, or who knows. God knows what. But either way, we're going to give that a try, and hopefully it'll detect it correctly, because I sort of need it to detect it for it to work. Otherwise, it's just going to fail. So if it's basically 0 germs, it goes out. If it's not 0 germs, it goes round. And then obviously, once the first tank that gets pumped into goes up to a certain level, then no more polluted water is going to go in until the water starts coming out. So that'll give it a chance to basically destroy all the germs in the water that's in there, and then it'll start again. Might be a bit stop-start. I think before I had it to do it sort of on and off and just give it a certain amount of time to kill all the germs, but I'll see how this goes and possibly amend it. Now, I did actually knock out the block and take out the power, which was stupid of me because I want to pump it into the coolant. So just shove another power transformer sort of off to the side, and that will be done. And now we can start pumping it into the cooling loop for the power and the refining place. Which is going to be useful. Set them all to about 20. I mean, pretty much when I'm cooling the base or cooling the area, I'm happy to set it to 20. Refining might be a bit tricky just for the heat, but the plant's sort of sitting at about 20 for the bristle blossoms. That's a pretty good temperature to choose. I'll see how I go with the refining. Because the cooling for the water and the refining are linked, I sort of need them to be set. And hopefully I won't overheat the steam. Or I shouldn't overheat. Alright, so we got food for the... Hopefully that's not rotted. We'll come back to that. Alright, so on Equelin, what I want to do is that clean water I'm going to use to put into the rocket for the toilet. So, I mean, we might as well use it for something. It's been sitting there for many cycles, and I'm getting water in for the oxygen elsewhere, so I might as well just pump it into a tank and use it for that. Now, we've nearly got the bottom set up for the pips to put in the Oxyferns. I just got to seal it off to make it a room. We'll put the pips in there, and then we'll start from right side, left side, and we'll basically feed in the Oxyferns one at a time. And then we'll have a nature reserve, which will be a nice morale bonus. So this is the exploration rocket, which I'm going to basically use with a telescope, and will reveal as much of the map as possible. It's on a radiation rocket, so we'll have, what, 20 once it's fully charged in terms of range, and also +3 for the telescope. So I'll be able to do the vast majority of the map to reveal it, which will be good. Now we also need to stick the polluted water into the refining circuit for the actual refining machines. So, I mean, apart from putting in some cooling here, because there's not much cooling going on in that area. Hopefully sticking it sort of in that bit will cool the sieves down below it enough that they don't overheat. It's probably my main care right now. We're going to push these radiated pipes out to the cold. So I'm just going to delete the ice that's near there. And then I'm just going to dig up any ice that's left and start refining in the other location. So really that bit's just to get rid of the ice. And now we'll do the bit where we're going to pump out the carbon dioxide. So they've got oxygen in there now, so we don't have to worry about them suffocating. And they can stay in there and build a little bit longer without having to run out and sort of get their breath back. Oh, it's probably a little bit harsh, but it is. It is what it is. 9's useful. Now I will put tiles under the bed. I forgot that the first bed has to be on solid ground, so but we can easily put it on solid ground. We just had to rebuild the plant pot because or the hanging pot because it was saying it wasn't attached to anything. So we'll just put a couple of air tiles there, and that'll be fine. They can still get up everywhere, so that's not an issue. Now we are getting a bit of stress, and it's because we have a loud sleeper that I probably should have isolated, but I probably didn't even realise. So we just got to figure out where they're sleeping. Nicola? Yeah, it was Nicola. Oops. So she's a loud sleeper, so we're going to isolate her away so she cannot make other people's lives hell, which she was doing. Yeah, so just now I'm gonna pull the polluted water off the cooling line and into the refining liquids one. Now I tend to forget to keep the polluted water coming in from the pump so it doesn't drain out, but you know, I'll remember it eventually. Alright, so we just need to harvest some pips and get them planting. Now the Oxyferns at the bottom isn't going to convert all of the carbon dioxide or give us all of our carbon dioxide needs, but it'll cut down on what we need to produce. And considering that, where are we? We don't have water sources on that asteroid. If we can get a little bit of oxygen, that's not too bad. But we do need to get a rancher, so we're going to pick Bubbles, and basically Bubbles on there is now going to become a rancher because she's not really doing that much. We've still got Liara that can help out a little bit, but Bubbles is our main person. Into there. So there we go. The pips are there. One of them's picked up what? Nothing. Hold on. What do they put down? Oh no. So the first thing they put down is not what I want. It's a millwood seed instead. So basically dug that up. I'll get it out of there as quickly as I can. And then that forces them to stick down the first of the Oxyferns. Now we're going to have some issues with cold here, because there's still a large amount of cold, but once we get the insulated tiles in place, the temperature above is warm, so once we seal it off from the bottom cold, then it'll sort of do better. It'll take a little bit to heat up, but that's alright. What we do want to do is get the pump for the polluted water sorted. If we can. Now it's all sorted. So we'll stick in little thing. Eventually, hopefully, we'll get carbon dioxide in there, which will be useful. Now we'll set that to oxygen so it actually stop just automatically pumping. And for our research, we should be basically ready to go. We've got our plastic, we've got our food, we've got our... who did we get? Oh, I can't even remember. Who was in there? Whoever we get to get the research points. So that exploration one, we've got our room. We haven't got the bedroom on that, but we have got the mess hall. So I mean that's right. Now we are going to start off the radiation for this one, and that's going to chew up a bunch more power. But that is... I decided just do 100. Like, it's got 4,000 to get into there. So... And the smaller the packets, the greater the loss, I suppose, because you send one packet for a large amount, you only lose half as much as if you sent 2 smaller packets. But we are going to go through a lot of natural gas, so running these things, we're going to have to address the power drain and probably upgrade being able to have the power, like having alternate sources of power. I've got a lot of oil, so yeah, we'll look at burning that in. Alright, so we'll hook this up. So basically, if there's a rocket on it and the rocket isn't full of rad bolts, then that thing's going to fire once it gets to 100. Which is not quite. It's only at 90. Oh, there we go. Alright, so rad bolt engine has its first one. It's going to take a fair while to like fill up to 4,000. Yeah, it's like 200 per one, so you can't even go one yet. Alright, so the water's going around, but what I've done is I mixed up the way the water is, because green is actually... The green is into the space and the white is out of the space. So what I needed to do is to connect the green to the intake of the tank, and then the output goes to the... Yeah. That's out. So that'll vent to space, basically. That one needs to go from the out of the toilet. But we'll get it. It's an easy fix. It's not really a big issue. We just got to get them all built. Alright, so because we're going to be chewing more power, we want to get alternates in. So if we stick a couple of petroleum generators in now, we haven't really got petroleum yet, but we're set up to produce it. So we'll start to get petroleum shortly, and we've got the suit set up, so we don't have to worry too much about heat or about the natural gas or not having oxygen in the environment. We just got to get the polluted water from the toilets, and we'll start pumping out oil wells. So these are... There's not a lot in there now, but we'll get 5. We've got a couple down the bottom which don't technically count as being in the ranch because they fell down, so that'll actually be a little bit handy. Even though once that geyser goes dormant, the carbon dioxide will actually be chewed through pretty fast by 5 slicksters that are all ranched and happy. They'll go through a lot of carbon dioxide. So we're going to have to put all the extra carbon dioxide in there we can. And hope that covers it. Alright, so we got the water going to the tank. Now there's nothing going to the toilet, but that's just because it's forbidden from use. But if you basically, as soon as you unforbid it, then it fills up. So that is all good. Now with all the natural gas, I'm going to stick a pump in, but I'll fix it later. But I managed, in my wisdom, to put the Atmo sensor and the gas detector the wrong way round. Basically, the gas element sensor should be on top of above the pump, and then the Atmo can be below or next to the pump. But I realised that later, and I won't correct it in this video, but I do correct it. Now, ideally, at some point, we're going to seal everything up so that all of the different gases, all the different rooms are going to basically be contained via the plastic tubes, so that we don't have to worry about like gas in the general area. All the gases will be in set sealed areas. But that is not yet. At the moment, we're just going to pump this and hook it into the filter. So we want it in the filter just in case carbon dioxide gets in, because it can. So we don't particularly want carbon dioxide in. So the heat's helping a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend out these radiator pipes to try to melt the last bits of the ice. So once the ice gets melted in these two locations where the pipe's being extended, we'll basically just shut it all down, dig out any ice that's left, and then basically we can get rid of that water and open it up. Now this is where I realised that I didn't leave the geyser pump pumping into the cooling loop. So we've got the I wonder what I set that temperature to. We got the cooling of the water that goes into the refining stuff, but we have not got any water in the steam turbines and the engine room to cool them down. So that's right. That's being fixed anyway. So with that, we'll leave it here.